Hey everybody, it's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game, or as they go in Game of Thrones, titles. Yes, so we are back for a quick, I guess this is going to be a micropod because, as always, Friday, jam-packed, the weekend's here. While most of you all will be enjoying the 4th of July weekend, barbecuing and whatnot, I will be working because I have no life but this game. But is there a life without this game? I don't know because it's such a great, fabulous game. So let's just jump right into it because brother has to go work his poor body out on a basketball court. Yes, looking something like that sad Big Three debacle. I'll be partaking in my own. So let's get right into it. Very exciting. People are joining the group chat. Yes, thank you. All of you group chat members. We appreciate the love and support. Very excited to have new members in there all the time. Oh, you know what? I was like, why is my lobby not coming up? Duh. We're live. Of course, we are live. And actually, I'm a little, decent turnout. Appreciate the support and everything. A little surprised that we didn't fill the background talent. We had it filled for a minute, but then it was gone. But of course, we will focus on the feature presentation this week. Side bets galore, flying about in the group chat. Welcome to our newest members. Let's keep getting more people in there, more voices, more strat talk. And let's take a look at some of these call sheets. And you know what? And I guess we'll start with mine. And also just putting an APB out for Jay Devlin. We're hoping to get him on the podcast today. We've been threatening to get him in there all week, and it's just been hard for our schedules to coordinate. Very big holiday weekend. And actually, now I think about it, he'll be out in Vegas in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll have a quote unquote live in studio with him while he's out here for the basketball tournament, the TBT Classic. So I honestly didn't have much of a strategy this week, but I'll tell you what I was thinking because this is how it kind of shook out. Basically, Despicable Me is poised to be pretty huge. Um, Depending on who you believe, there's some estimates going almost 110 million. There's some estimates, as in Box Office Pro, which is kind of our go-to around here because they come out with their predictions and projections on Wednesday. They're estimating 89 million. So if you're going with that estimate, I mean, especially with how expensive it's been priced up this week, in our game at I think 32,000 for the voice of Steve Carell and 30,800, I believe, for who's the next one after that? I can't remember. Anyways, you know what? Actually, that's just poor. Let's just bring up the talent pool because we should know these things. It isn't rocket science. I mean, I created the talent pool, so it should behoove me to bring it up for us. So as I am quietly stalling while I search for it on my Google Drive, we shall talk a little bit about Baby Driver. Yes, let's talk some Baby Driver. Baby Driver was excellent. It was crazy, but just the right kind of crazy. I was there for it. I saw it in D box, of course, so my seat is going hither and thro. But I mean, and for as much ballyhooed the car chases are, there really was only about like 3.5 because one car chase quickly turns into a foot chase, which turns back into a car chase. It's actually really exciting. Edgar Wright is a weirdo. He's the guy who gave us that what's that Michael Cera movie with that like infused video games and like real life. I forget the title of it, but yeah, I mean, Edgar Wright, the director, is a weirdo, but he's just the right kind of weirdo. Definitely reinvigorates the car chase movie. I mean, a lot of people say like movies like Ronin was like a great car chase movie. I was bored. Now I fell asleep and I walked out of Ronin. I just thought it was garbage. But Baby Driver is very exciting, very kinetic. The premise behind this movie. And I was actually trying to convince the Hebrew Hammer of why he should go see Baby Driver because he thought it was just like a ripoff of Fast and Furious. That could not be further from the truth. Fast and Furious is a cartoon. It's a living animated cartoon. It knows it is and it leans into it. Baby Driver, while the car chases are pretty ridiculous, they were done using all practical effects. Edgar Wright's very proud of this fact in Baby Driver. He talks about how how he didn't want to do CGI, and everything you see on screen, for the most part, is a practical effect. So, and it's pretty well cast. John Hamm is excellent in it. Ansel Elgort, God, that's a tough name to say. I mean, despite the unwieldy name and Eduardo Noel Jackson, I don't know. I've got a somewhat unusual name, so I'm not, I am somewhat sympathetic to people with unusual names, but Ansel Elgort, I mean, if there ever was a movie that's going to make him a star, and I'm not sure he's terribly interested in being a star, it should be this movie. It's not the most grown-up role per se, but despite the title, it's not a kid role either. It's a nice bridge. It's a nice bridge role for him, getting out of like kind of like the teen dream type stuff to something more substantial. Because I mean, his most oh, that looks interesting. Billionaire Boys Club. I think based off the was it memoir or something. That sounds very interesting. Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, good lord. Okay, so sorry, I'm looking at his IMDb for you podcast listeners. But yeah, so Allegiant, the whole Allegiant series, Paper Towns, yeah, or not Allegiant series, the Divergent series, which include Allegiant, Insurgent, all sorts of stuff. And these are all kind of like in The Fault in Our Stars. I mean, those are all like teen to tween movies. I mean, this is going to be the movie that bridges him firmly towards adulthood. And The Fault in Our Stars was great. It's a great sappy teen love story movie. But yeah, this should be the movie that kind of bridges him towards adulthood. Yeah, born in 1994. God, I'm bad at math. Was 23, I guess. Or 20. That's no, is that 33? God, why am I so bad at math? I'm sorry, Mom. This is embarrassing. Draft Mom. I can't believe I'm actually using cat. 23. So he is a kid, but this should definitely veer him more towards adult role. So I mean, so it's a really, really good movie for him. It's a fun movie, and it's gotten off to a pretty good start. 5.7 million on Wednesday, which I'm not sure if that includes the 2.1 million in Tuesday night previews. I saw it on Wednesday. So good movie. I expect big things for it. So that's why I stacked it. I stacked the hell out of it. Look at this. I have a 7-pack of Baby Driver. I mean, pretty much everybody can get in there. Ansel Elgort, Kevin Spacey as two headliners. John Bernthal. He's got to click on him for a second because your boy Jay Devlin has a personal grudge about him. If you ever see Jay Devlin in the streets, ask him about John Bernthal. It's quite a funny story. And yeah, and so I've got a 7-pack of Baby Driver. I've got Gal Gadot headlining from Wonder Woman. Oh, I mean, because I had room. Look at that. I have 2,600 left to spare, so I went for the higher price headliner. I love Gal. Gal definitely pretties up my call sheet. Oh my goodness, genetic perfection. And then also Colin Farrell headlining The Beguiled, and Zoe Kazan headlining The Big Sick. And The Big Sick actually is only on 71 screens, but its per screen was off the chart. Well, okay, this didn't update, which is wrong. It's on 71 screens, and it really should do well. I mean, look at if you're just going just going by per screen average, which is one of my favorite statistics on Box Office Mojo, is per screen average. I mean, 84,000 per screen on 5 screens. Now, obviously, that's not sustainable. It's not freaking sustainable. But let's say it goes down to even 15,000 per screen on 71 screens this week. That's over $1 million, almost 1.1 million. That's 11. That's 11 fantasy points. I would take that in a heartbeat, especially in a platform release category that outside the Big Sick is pretty lackluster. Pretty lackluster. It's only on 71 screens, though. And the only reason why it's priced so low is because it was a bit of a wild card. We know it was on 5 screens. It had a really big per screen average, but we weren't sure how far it was going to expand. I do know that it's going to expand wider, maybe into limited release, was it July 14th, that weekend. But for now, a bit of a wild card. The advertising is pretty everywhere, at least on some of those higher numbered cable channels. So I think the Big Sick is your play for platform release this week. The limited is. Limited is I would say it's kind of wide open as far as like The Beguiled. Actually, I need to update these from last night. I haven't had a chance to do that from last night, but The Beguiled is going to be on almost 700 screens. I think that's what we're looking at. Yes, the Beguiled's on 673 screens, which is not bad. Beatriz at Dinner is on 683 screens. Both of them have pretty hefty per screen averages. Now I think about it from last week. I mean, it's limited is probably going to be what's going to make or break your call sheet this weekend. And knowing exactly which one it's going to be, I mean, I honestly don't know. It's anyone's guess. Because even Beatrice at Dinner did 3,500 per screen on 491 screens. If you assume it drops down another 1,000 per screen because of the added screens, you're at 2,500 per screen times 683. 1.7 million, which is okay. You're not like, busting me box. That's essentially almost 4 points at the limited release level. You're probably gonna have to bank on. Let's see, if you're looking at pure weekend gross in the limited release type category, it might be Guardians. How did I miss this? Oh my God! Oh, I feel like such a dummy. It's probably gonna be Guardians. Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it's declining, but it's still on 966 screens. Look at its per screen average last week. Guardians of the Galaxy did 2,000 per screen. So assuming another 500 drop times 966. Yeah, well, actually, it's on par with Beatrice. You're looking at 1.5 million ish. So I don't know. I mean, so limited is a bit of a dumpster fire this week. It's hard to, I mean, while you have a lot of these middling films like your Beatrices who aren't quite, wide enough to make a huge impact. I mean, limited is a bit of a coin flip. So I don't know. So I put my chips in on the Beguiled only because it's got a lot of heat. The per screen average has been redonkulous. It is expanding. I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see how that plays out per screen. Yeah, per screen per screen last week was 57,000 per screen, which is of course unsustainable. And then, let's see once again, if you think it goes down to 15,000 per screen, it's on 673 screens. That's oh wow, that's 10 million actually. That's actually really impressive. Did I do that wrong? Hold on a second. 15,000 per screen times 673 screens. Ooh, shit, it's like 10 million. That would be pretty impressive, actually. That would be essentially 20 points from your limited release. Ooh, man, that'd be fantastic. And Beatrice so then that may so I'm sorry that I added the numbers all wrong on Beatrice at Dinner then. Because Beatrice at Dinner would essentially be at 10 million. Say, okay, so all right, all right, rewind, forget the last, I guess, 3.5 minutes or whatever. Beatrice at Dinner, looking pretty good. The Beguiled, looking pretty good. If you have those in your call sheet, it might be a good weekend for you. If you're assuming 15,000 per screen average, which I don't think is outside the realm of possibility if it did 57,000 on 4 screens. I don't know. Well, let's keep our eye on that throughout the weekend. Okay, so enough about my call sheet. Enough. While there's a lot of big talk in the group chat, Ringball's calling his shot. I uncalled my shot. I had no idea where we're going this weekend. Let's take a look at Ringball's call sheet since he was talking big stank up in the group chat. All right, so he has so this is I would say a pretty balanced call sheet, and I say it's balanced because even though you have the cost heavy Despicable Me, and you want that exposure if you can afford it. I mean, even on the low end of 89 million with the headliner, you're looking at 124 million off the top, and then he was able to get 4 baby drivers. That's actually really smart. He's got your headliner stack of Ansel Elgort and Kevin Spacey, plus Flea and Jeff Chase. As non-headliners, this actually is a pretty good-looking call sheet because then he's got a 4-pack of the Big Sick. God damn, this is a really good-looking call sheet. Ringballs is a very pretty call sheet. I like it. I like it a lot better than mine, mostly because you have the exposure to Despicable Me. You have a decent amount of exposure to Baby Driver, and then 4-packing the Big Sick, especially if it does what we think it's going to do at 15,000 per screen. I mean, my God, you're looking at like possibly 100 points out of just these 4 on the Big Sick. God, oh man, my Baby Driver strategy is not looking good. Just take my money. Take my. I mean, you're gonna take the site's money, ring balls, but also take my personal PayPal money. Well played. And then his limited release is a headliner from Pirates of the Caribbean, which how many screens is that on? I think let's see. What's it saying? 1674. Golly, that's a really good looking call sheet. I am jealous. I am really jealous because I mean, look at even the per screen averages for Pirates, 2,200. Let's say even it drops down to 1,500 times 1674. You're still looking at 2.5 million. So essentially 5 points ish. At a headliner's, 7 points. That's perfectly fine for a punt. Even if you're kind of punting, but you're not really. It's fine. This is a very good looking call sheet. I'm very impressed. Ring balls looks like the call sheet to beat, but let's take a look at some more call sheets. Let's look at the call sheets. I mean, I really like that call sheet. Let's take a look at James Lear. He was one of the early birds on the game. Runs Lineup Lab, an optimization site for DFS, for DFS call sheets. Oh, okay. So Despicable Me, headliner, Kristen Wiig, the cheaper of the two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pack of the Beguiled. He's all in on the Beguiled. All right, and limited release. And then once again, if it could get you, theoretically 20 points or 28 points per headliner. So one, 2, 3, 4. So 5 pack. Wow. So 28 times 2 would be 56 plus another 60. Yeah. So the Beguiled looks pretty strong here. You can get like 110 points thereabouts if this really plays out. He's got a 3-pack of Baywatch, including 1 headliner and Zac Efron, and then Zoe Saldana, Guardians of the Galaxy headliner. This is a very strong call sheet. I like this one very much as well. Definitely top 5 potential. Good luck and Godspeed, James Lear. Let's take a look at our WBW from the set or the writer's room of the Dynasty reboot. Thanks so much for taking the time to play our game. Our Hollywood insider, our working black writer, Cornell Westside, Kevin Garnett. And so this call sheet is interesting. This has potential. Kristen Wiig headlining Despicable Me. 1, 2, 3 pack of Baby Driver. Beatriz at dinner headliner Salma Hayek. Nicole Kidman from The Beguiled. Alec Baldwin from Paris Can Wait. 3-pack of Paris Can Wait. And Zoe Saldana, Guardians of the Galaxy headliner. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about this call sheet, but it's pretty solid. I think it could cash. I think this could be like a 7th or 8th place finish. So good job, Cornell Westside. It's a little, I would say it's a little unfocused as far as like he's sampling 1, 2, 3, about 5 different movies, but these are the right 5 if you want to sample. So it'll be interesting to see how this one performs. Good job, Cornell Westside. Why am I saying like Jay Devlin? Jay Devlin's not here. Damn it, Jay Devlin. If you want to pronounce it Cornell Westside, come on the podcast. Wake up. Who else? The Roan, an OG from the spreadsheet days. The Roan, he has, okay, so Kristen Wiig, solid. 1, 2, the headliner stack from Baby Driver, headliner stack from The Big Sick, pretty solid. Actually, 3-pack from Baby Driver. Yes, Nicole Kidman from The Beguiled. Sophia Boutella from The Mummy. Interesting. I say interesting in a way I mean bad. I don't think The Mummy is really going to do that well, even in limited release. Let's see if it has the screens. What kind of screen count does The Mummy have? The Mummy's got... And also, what was its per screen average? So it's on 1,755 screens, so almost 1,800 screens. So that's pretty solid. But what was its per screen looking like on The Mummy? I mean, The Mummy, 2,000 per screen. So 1,500 per screen times 1,755. That's actually not, I take that back. My bad. Didn't mean to slander your call sheet, The Roan. That's actually a better play than I thought. It's headliner to 6,900, pretty affordable. Why the hell not? Me personally, I probably would have I would have spent that money. Well, actually, you couldn't afford the Beguiled. Okay, I see what you did there. All right, so that's not bad. I think you are kind of punting with the Book of Henry. For that price, actually, you could have gotten like another actor from the Big Sick. This is probably your biggest misstep and could keep you from cashing. I mean, and yes, it comes down to one slot. It might be what costs you, but otherwise, pretty solid call sheet. Well done. And let's take a look at a couple more. I mean, I always want to give love to the group chat guys because I mean they're in the group chat. I mean that's where you need to be. I mean, and you know what? In honor of him joining the group chat this week, the God of Cheese. Take a look at your call sheet. We can't cover everybody, unfortunately, especially since I have to go. But let's take a look at yours. So this one, two, three, four. Yeah, so this is a very similar call. Actually, is this the identical call sheet? This looks like he's sharing the same call sheet as this is the God of Cheese for you podcast listeners. And it looks like he has an identical, if not very similar call sheet to Ring Balls 2022. I think that might even be friends, so they share a brain when it comes to this. They might be sharing honors. And yes, it's a very solid call sheet. This is the one with Kristen Wiig headlining, 4-pack of Baby Driver, 4-pack of The Big Sick, Javier Bardem headlining Pirates of the Caribbean. Very strong strategy. They'll probably be splitting awards, top honors at the top for call sheet of the week. Yeah, I mean, it's no fun splitting, $25 for call sheet of the week, but don't be so good. And also, hopefully, we'll have like a handle on scoring and everything this week. If so, I would like to experiment in expanding the movie pool. If we can get our scoring situation down, so I'm not hand scoring every week, then yes, I might. Then I'd like to add, a few more movies to the talent pool. It won't be this week because I put up the talent pool on Sundays, and even on this holiday weekend, it'll be business as usual. But if scoring goes off pretty well this weekend, I'm not hand scoring, then we will expand our talent pool for not this week coming up, but the weekend after that. So yes, a very, very strong call sheet, the God of Cheese. And since it was essentially the same as Ring Balls, let's take a look at Michael Vellante. Uh, one of our favorites, one of the guys in the group chat, very active, big ambassador of Cinema Draft. We appreciate you, Michael Vellante. And okay, so he had Despicable Me headliner Kristen Wiig, the Baby Driver headliner stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he is all in on the Big Sick, and I am not mad at you. That the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Because especially if we're projecting 15,000 per screen on on 600 and was it 83 screens, you're looking at 10 million in box office, or 20 points each, 28 if you're a headliner. I mean, essentially you're looking at I was so bad at math. Essentially you're looking at 136 points between these 6 actors. Very, very, very strong play. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did that all wrong. I'm sorry. 100. I got that wrong. So if you're looking at 15,000 per screen times 71 screens, there we go. You're looking at 1 million each, which is still 10. Okay, now that makes the calculus a little bit different. So then now you're looking at essentially 11 points ish, which is still not bad. I mean, Big Sick, I think, is still going to do well. I mean, how well it's going to do is anyone's guess. 71 screens, 15,000 per screen. You're looking at 11 points each, or 15 points per headliner, so 30 plus 40, and that's 70 points. Still pretty strong, especially the value you're getting at 6,000 and 5,800 for your 2 headliners, and then 5,500 generally for the non-headliners. It's still really good value to get 70 points out of it, and you still have exposure to Baby Driver, and you still have exposure to Despicable Me 3, and you even have Nicole Kidman from The Beguiled, which could get you a good 28 points if our estimates hold. So this is a very strong call sheet, Michael Vellante. It'll be very interesting to see where it ends up. He's always at the top of the leaderboard. Very strong player. Very generous with the group chat information and strategy too. I expect a top 3 call sheet out of Michael Vellante. And let's take a look at Smee. Smee is a newer player. Let's take a look at their call sheet. And okay, this is a very strong call sheet in its own right. Despicable Me 3 headliner, Baby Driver 4-pack, Big Sick 4-pack, Zoe Saldana from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I like it. This looks like this was the conventional wisdom this week. It got you exposure to the Baby Drivers of the world, Despicable Me, and what have you. Guardians of the Galaxy exposure and the Big Sick exposure. This is a very popular construction this week, and I expect to do well. Smee, welcome. I think this might be one of like your second or third time in the feature presentation. Good luck to you. I like it. Very strong construction. This definitely has cash potential. And the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of like meh on my call sheet. The more I like you guys' call sheets better. And just wrapping this up real quick, just looking at my call sheet, being all in on Baby Driver plus some Wonder Woman exposure, I really need Baby Driver to overperform. If Baby Driver gets 25 million, 35, man, I don't know if I can fade it. 70. Well, if Baby Driver gets 25 million, then you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 million, 125 million plus 70, so almost 200. Okay, I need to get 25 million or more to have a shot, because then I've got 200 million out of these top 7. Wonder Woman's still going to do its thing. I expect Wonder Woman to do another 20 million. So that's another 28, 228. The Big Sick, another 2. You know, I'm not out. I'm still in this bitch. Damn it, I'm still in this piece. I mean, this could potentially be a 250-point call sheet. It's still, I mean, I still have my work cut out for me, because basically all those people who did 4-pack of Baby Driver plus Despicable Me, that's essentially the same amount. So it'll be a very interesting finish. I can't say for certain if I'm going to be in the top 8 and would have cashed, but I like my chances. A lot of popular constructions out there, a lot of good strategy, and as always, I'm very appreciative of what you guys are doing out there. You guys are taking the game very seriously. It warms the cockles of my heart. Well, yeah, Cinema Draft, cinemadraft.co. Tell all your friends. We need more people. We need more people. And once we start filling these contests up, I can expand the prize pool. There's nothing that would give me more pleasure in life than to give away more free money for this game. Shout outs to Gamble 24/7, Jay Devlin, all the diehards, all the the people who engage in the group chat, the side bets, the culture of the game. I appreciate you. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, all that good stuff. I am so late for my basketball game. I'm going to go. But definitely follow us on social media. Tweet, retweet, spread the word among your friends. And you know what time it is, everybody. It is the weekend. Why don't you go see a movie or something?